Kathleen Leonard, and today I'm going to be teaching a science lesson on exploring the concept of density. Does anybody know what density is? Yes? Density is mass per unit volume. Mass is the stuff the object is made of, and volume is the size of the object. Okay. Whether an object floats or not is determined by its density. If an object floats on water, it is less dense than water. An object that sinks is denser than the water. So, to investigate the concept of density, I want to do an experiment on will it float. And this is a really fun, hands-on experiment teaching you guys about what sinks and what doesn't. So I'm going to need some volunteers, but let me just explain what's going to happen. Does anyone know what a hypothesis is? Yes, it's an educated guess. Very good. So I wrote, heavier things sink and lighter things float. Predict yes or no. So on the worksheets I handed out, I want you to predict if you think heavier things sink and lighter things float. Just write yes or no. Okay. So I've made a chart, just like the ones that you've gotten on your handouts, of the weight, the items, and whether they floated or sank. So I'm going to need some volunteers. And over here, we have a group of objects. We have a pen, a pencil, a marble, a coin, an eraser, 2 small erasers, a little rubber ball, and a wooden piece. Okay. So, out of the heaviest things that I've pointed out, I want someone to pick out an item. Stephanie. Oh, you picked the eraser? Okay. So let me write down the eraser. And what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to sink or do you think it's going to float? You think it's going to float. Okay. So let's make a little X there. So I'm just going to simply put the eraser in the water and see what happens. Oh, it sank right away. Right away it sank. Okay, so that one was wrong. Anthony, I want you to pick another item that is on over here. You picked the pen. Okay, it's a pen. What do you think it's going to do? You think it's going to float? Why do you think that? Oh, you've done this before? Okay, so let me just write down. I think it's going to float. I'm going to write down pen. Oh, do you think this pen is heavier or light though? It's pretty light. Alright, so wait. That would be the smallest in the pen. Let's just make that nice. Alright, and you think it's going to float? Okay, let's see. You were right, Anthony. Good job. It is floating. Okay. Laura, pick out another item. You want the 2 small erasers. Okay. You want to hold them? And they're pretty light, right? Do you think they're going to float? Why do you think that? Because they're light. Okay. So, that's the smallest again. So we'll put tiny eraser. And you think it's going to float. So far the pen was right. Let's see about the tiny erasers. Oh! They float. They did not float. They sank right down to the bottom. Sorry, Laura. So, this one sank. Erasers. Sank. Okay. Let's pick out another one. Peter, pick out the... Oh, you want the pencil? Okay. You think it's going to float. Why? Because it's wood. Why? Because it's wood, though. Because it's light. Okay. So, that's pretty light. Actually, let's put it in the middle because it's not that light. So, let's put pencil. And let's see what happens. It does float. You were right because it's light. Yep. Okay, so that floated. Okay. We have a few more items left. Anyone like to volunteer? Morris, okay. The rubber ball. Right? What do you think is going to happen? it's gonna definitely float. Why do you think that? Because it's rubber. Oh, we'll see right now. Oh, it is floating. So, that was pretty heavy. No, I would say middle. Let's put ball. And it floated. Does anyone know why these things keep floating though? Does anyone have an idea? If an object that floats, it means that it is less dense than the water. So if it's less dense, it's gonna float, just like the ball. Okay, let's do one more. The coin. Okay. Definitely gonna sink. Everyone agrees that it's gonna sink? Let's see. And this I would say is pretty heavy. Sank right away. Coin. That sank. So, through this lesson and the experiment of will it float, we have learned that density, that it is the density of the object and not the weight that makes it float or sink. The density of an object depends on how much mass, stuff the object is made of, like this is made of rubber, is in the volume, the size. It's small. You know, it's not that big. So, therefore, we know the coin sank, the pencil and the ball floated, the pen, the tiny erasers both sank, and that's about it, class. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you.